All right, welcome Senior Home Business family. Before we get started today, I know you clicked on the video to see the 5 reasons senior placement agents need a system, and we will get to those 5 areas. But right now, we just want to, not that you don't know, many of you already know. For instance, Charlie Kirk yesterday was assassinated, was just a cool thing. So don't need to get into all of that, but just who the man represented, just I want to recognize him and remember him today. He stood for his values, man. This is a guy full of faith. His family stood for our nation. He was more than a leader. I mean, he inspired so many people, especially a lot of young people on campuses, to think bigger, to be bolder, never back down from the truth. And today we just want to honor his legacy. And also today, 9/11. Many of you probably remember where you were when this took place. I remember where I was at. I was in a townhome in Virginia Beach upstairs, heard about the first plane crashing through. And then I went downstairs and it was on TV and actually saw the second plane as they were recording it. So this is a day, obviously, that changed our nation forever. I just want to remember the lives lost and the heroes who ran into danger to save others and the families whose world would never be the same after that. So at this time, I'd just like to invite all of you, wherever you're watching, before we get into all we're going to do today, to join Drew and myself just in a moment of silence to pause, reflect, and honor both Charlie Kirk's impact and the memory of 9/11. Amen. All right, well, let's get to it, man. I tell you, just I'll try to keep the energy today, but man, it's just moments like yesterday and 9/11. Just with no days are promised, right? We don't know how many days we have left on this earth. I'm 56. I may live to 126, Drew, or I may live until tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
And just a reminder that we just all need to live a life of purpose, live out your calling, live today as though it's your last day, but plan as though you're going to live forever. And that's one of the things that kind of just helped me through the years. It's just a reminder that, man, every day is a blessing, to be grateful for the people that are around you. You never know when somebody's going to be in that plane and don't return home. You never know when somebody's going to give that speech and never return home. Like Charlie Kirk, having a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids, all the people he impacted. So, and then 9/11. I mean, people got on the airplane that day just thinking they're going on a business trip or a family vacation or wherever it may be, and just never returned home. So always be grateful. That's the key thing. So, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
And you get these chaotic events happen at the micro level. Chaos happens at a micro level, and grief is so much part of transition for seniors, and anything we can do to create less chaos in the world, I think is useful, and so it can happen at multiple levels there, very personal level for the families that we help, and then you got these macro level events as well. So thank you for taking the time to take a moment of silence there, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. And it reminds me, man, I'm so grateful of this business, senior placement business. So grateful for you, for the team, so grateful for all we got going on. And we all have each a great life, but it's more than just money, even though I'm not downplaying money, because I tell you, I've been broker than anything. So I wouldn't trade that go back to that for anything. But the important thing is just family, the people you're connected with, people you encounter on a daily basis, like in a senior placement. Just be grateful for the seniors you meet. I mean, the life journey they went through, and kind of just helps you in this business just to understand that it's not all about me. It's not all about us. As we're going through life, we encounter people that we're meant to meet and to help and to be there to honor or whatever it may be. So yeah, I just love it. Man, let's get
it's about helping people, you know, and that's the times like these remind us of the importance of that.
Absolutely. But buddy, let's get into it, man. 5 reasons senior placement agents need a system. This is dear to my heart, you guys, and Drew, because we see so many senior placement agents out there that just develop their business, which is great. But to be successful in any business, you need systems and processes in place. You can hear that from anybody. I don't care who you're following. If they're successful in business, they're going to tell you that. Systems and processes. In my experience, Drew, I see a lot of senior placement agents. They want to understand the process and go out and get that first lead, get that first move in, get that first paycheck, but they don't spend the time to build systems. And that is where the magic happens. That's where the expansion happens. That's where you can be able to have certain things on automation. There's certain things you can do, and it's going to free you up, right? The kind of think of it this way. If you don't have systems, you're all about the hustle and the grind all the time. And I'm not one to downplay hustle and grind. I like work. I like all that. But I'm telling you, that is a limited resource. And you are just banking on you having that energy all the time. And, I'm 56. I said earlier, shoot, I don't have the energy I had when I first started my business, much less, back when I was in the 20s and 30s. So there will come a time when you're going to have to slow down physically. And that's where systems come into play. So
It's about kept maintaining momentum. When you do that initial, meet and greet into a new SNF or a hospital, and to that relationship that you get off on the right foot, you want something there that's going to persist, so that you can build off that momentum instead of having to go back cold again and again and again, because that's how you lose your energy.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into it, man. Number 1, we're going to go through 5 of these things. Do not leave the video early. I'm telling you, number 5 will be very impactful. I think they all are, but especially number 5. And I kind of did it on purpose to kind of keep you around so you can watch the video, right? I mean, if you love what we do, click subscribe and hit the notification bell and all that good stuff. And we're going to get into TSL because, like we've said many times, there's 3 ways to do this business: traditionally, online, TSL. If you want to know more about TSL, all you got to do is click the link down below and either schedule a consultation call with me, or we just did a recent webinar, Drew, and we've got that down below so they can click that, watch the webinar. And you can follow me next week. I'm going to an area that I've never done this business before and venturing to get a paying client in a matter of 12 hours. Now, it's 2 hours a day over the course of 6 days. In full transparency, because I want to be doing this business 2 hours a day while I'm there. I'm going there to do other things. So, but we got plenty of people already, Drew, that have signed up for this thing, and they can sign up for a general admission or VIP. And general admission, they'll be able to get a recorded video of me every night, 12-point blueprint process, all what I did. They're VIP to get all that, 2 coaching calls on top of following me in an app, along with other people in the group, ask questions directly throughout the event. So super excited about it.
I can't wait to see this, Matt. I've got my popcorn ready.
Oh my goodness, man. It is going to be so exciting, exhilarating, but nerve-wracking. I know, there's just certain things I know how to do, but you just don't know how this is going to play out, right? I think in terms of an athlete, they know exactly how to play the game and what to do in the plays and their teammates. But you just don't know the outcome. You don't know how it's going to play out. But I'm going to give you everything in this video in terms of how to do this business, or what I would do starting from scratch. And I really will be starting from scratch because I don't know anybody in the area. So that's consistency and lead flow. How do you get that lead? And so you can click down below and sign up for that if you want. It's a link down below. But let's get into it. Consistency and lead flow. I think this is where, Drew, a lot of the senior placement agents struggle is consistency in lead flow. They go out and get one. That's great. And I still remember my first like it was yesterday. But you need more than one, and you need more than 2. You need more than just doing one a month or one every quarter. And there's a consistency. So the problem is many agents operate in bursts, right? Some months they're busy, other months they're dry. And it's this constant cycle. It's up and down. It's like a roller coaster, right? They're high 1 minute because they got 2 leads and both are going to turn into move-ins. And then next month it's like I'm starting over. You don't have to start over, right? And so, Drew, speak about TSL because it does become like a 24/7 lead engine by attracting families, right? And communities to your landing page.
Yeah, well, as a traditional senior placement agent, you've got your ground game, let's call it, where you're getting into SNFs and hospitals. With TSL, now you have a persistent presence in that SNF or hospital in the form of a tablet, in the form of QR codes that link to your page. By the way, the folks who are using the tablet have discovered that this basically gives you a free excuse to drop into the SNF on a regular
Right,
basis,
right.
which
Yeah,
we didn't expect, but it turns out
yeah.
is really awesome. They basically gave them a key card to the building whenever they want. Drop in. We got to check on the tablet, make sure the software is up to date and working, and everything's charged. And so that's a great thing because that allows you to follow up, build on the energy when you initially establish that relationship with the SNF or hospital, which is awesome. But it also gives you kind of this almost like air cover
Yeah.
of now you have a presence online where people are finding your communities through SEO, through your social media. And so you've got kind of the ground game and the air game kind of going on at the same time. That's what creates that consistency.
Love it, man. I think about my marketing director. She got into a sniff in our area that I was not able to get into. Now I've moved people out of that building, but I just could not make a connection with they had many different social workers over time. So it wasn't just one person. Just never made a connection, just never got in and was able to do anything. And my marketing director goes in and she's able to present TSL, able to bring the tablet. Now they want the tablet. Now we're going to start getting leads from that skilled nursing facility. It's going to set us apart in that one community. And that's what the audience, people out there today, if you're a senior placement agent, franchisee, or you just want to get in this business, this is going to give you an edge. You're going to be one of one. I mean, that's the cool thing about it is you're not going to be like everyone else, just knocking on doors, passing out brochures, business cards, and hope to bring them a coffee and all that and some cookies, and they all like it and give you leads. No convincing whatsoever. You're giving a social worker, and there's many different, we talk a lot about social workers because that's kind of the main thing of where you want to get your leads from. But you can use this in virtual tours. You can use this on your social media with your links and all different things. You get people to your landing page, but man, you're going back to the social workers. You're giving a social worker real information in real time, not click on Google or go to even a community's website to try to sift through all the information that's on there because they don't tell you a whole lot on the community's websites. They just don't. There's no prices on there. A lot of it's generic. They don't get into specifics. A lot of their websites look a lot like the other communities' websites, just different colors and a different name. So it doesn't help you a whole lot, right? So TSL is going to help you greatly, right, Drew?
That's right. I mean, like imagine if you were trying to buy a house and the way you search for houses was going to individual websites that only had one house on the website and you're just kind of browsing. No one would do that. No, I want the Zillow page. I want to be able to filter based on my price criteria in senior living case and based on my care needs and amenities there. And that's what TSL provides. And that's, really it's you, the placement agent, providing that. TSL is just a tool in your toolkit, but this is your product that you have to offer.
Absolutely. What I love about it too, Drew, it brings credibility and professionalism. I mean, I got a problem here, and you're going to notice a trend here. Every point has a problem and then the solution, how TSL can actually solve that problem. Pro tip in this business, you are a problem solver. If you don't solve problems real well, you need probably to work on that, and then you'll be a good senior placement agent. But the problem is many senior placement agents are relying on just a business card. Personal hustle, like we talked about earlier, it can make agents seem small-scale and unstructured. Communities, families are wanting to work with someone established, someone that knows the game, knows the business, knows the insides and outs of this business. They know the process, the flow, the vibe of these communities. I mean, all this kind of thing. It's more than just a business card, more than just hustle. But you get into TSL, Drew. I mean, TSL solves this problem because you become the local expert and professional, right?
Yeah, and when you talk to social workers or like even higher up directors of social services at these places, one concern that they bring up is they're kind of worried that you're maybe biased, that you're giving biased options to the family because that can put them
Absolutely.
in legal jeopardy. And beautiful thing about TSL is that it removes any whiff of bias because you're basically presenting them all the options in the area and then being a guide to help them decide. But they don't have to worry, oh, is this placement agent only funneling our people to a handful of communities that are their friends? That that goes away.
Absolutely. Number three, efficiency in operations. And here's another problem with senior placement agents. I mean, without systems, agents spend too much time chasing information, manually tracking leads. I've done that for years. I've used many CRMs in the past, but in my senior placement business, Drew, I've never used a CRM. It's always Excel. Matter of fact, you probably see Excel spreadsheet behind me. I mean, I'm the king of that kind of thing, man. I love that kind of thing. I use my cell phone for everything and all my contacts in there on my computer, things like that. But there are certain things that you can automate. And with TSL, man, it just helps you out greatly in centralizing these calls, the lead data, virtual tours in one system. And I mean the virtual tours, you guys. I've been doing virtual tours since 2019, but I had these videos on my computer, on my phone. And then I had to sort and sift through each one for the upcoming family appointment and pick two or three that would best fit mom or dad. With TSL, you don't have to do that. I can actually bring up TSL and they can click the care needs and then the communities populate and we can land on certain these communities. And I don't have to pull up an individual video every one. Because you imagine like being on whether it be a Zoom meeting, right? Or whether it be StreamYard like we're on right now or something like that. I'd always have to click on off. Like, okay, let me upload the other video, family. Here it is. Okay, go
Yeah.
through that kind of thing. And then when you're done, it's kind of like, okay, let me get the other one uploaded. Hang on a second. And you're doing that. TSL, you ain't got to do that.
Yeah, like you can pull this up. Say the family really wants awake staff in the community, right? Click awake staff, and maybe they want a single level community that's really important to them. Now you've got the list narrowed down instantly here. You could pull up the copy and paste this URL. You can just send this URL to the family, and it'll take them to these 12 communities that fit their criteria. That takes what 5 seconds.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then if they want to look for more, they can. But that's where the senior placement agent comes in hand, right? In terms of you guys being the professionals, know what you're doing, you know the market, you know the person that you're helping, their ADLs, their behaviors, all that, and you're able to narrow it down. So maybe you want to do that. So if you got 100+ communities on your landing page, just what Drew just did there, it can narrow it down to 10, 12, 3, 5, whatever it is, and then go in there and look and it fits their care needs. I'm telling you from experience that senior living communities are not all the same. I mean, I know that's kind of the general consensus. It's like, well, that's where the elderly go. That's where the elderly go when they can't take care of themselves. And the assumption is that all these communities are able to provide the same services. And that's so far from the truth, Drew. It's not even funny. I mean, some of the basics, yes, med management, shower twice a week, things like that. Pretty good assumption. They all do that. Man, Hoyer lift, needle injection for diabetes, or transportation back and forth to the doctor, things like that. Not always a given. You better ask for these things because if not, then your loved one will be in the community or the resident, the senior placement agent is helping will be in the community and then they're going to be stuck. And then what's going to happen is the resident's going to want to leave. They're going to go somewhere else. And the community's not going to be happy with that because the senior placement agent didn't help them all through the process. Now, maybe there's a lot of things the senior living community could have done too to prevent that, disclose the information, but they're usually about the move in. Let's get them moved in. We'll fix it. Well, that's not what we really want to do with TSL. Well, Drew, what I like about too with TSL is scalability and growth. And the problem is the wing it approach. Too many senior placement agents are winging it. They're just, and I probably did too. I mean, this is kind of point the finger back at me when I first started. It was like, I just need to go get contacts. I need to go get leads. And I just started basically, I guess you classify it as winging it, right? Hoping a prayer, man, flying by the seat of my pants. And hopefully this business will work out. Good news is, you guys, you don't have to do that today. I mean, TSL solves a lot of these issues. And Drew, just kind of speak to that if you would. I mean, what kind of infrastructure does TSL give the senior placement agents out there?
Well, what's so cool is it really expands, all of that knowledge and wisdom that you have about the senior living communities in your area. You can actually encode in the profiles here on the page. So that massively expands your ability to share your value with others. But the other cool thing is our tracking features. So when someone decides, okay, this community looks great, I want to call to book a tour, you're going to get an alert every time someone calls that phone number. You also get the recording of the call and a summary of what was discussed on the call. So that enables you to really track all the leads and the movement. We also have like kind of a back-end login where you can see, if you really want to get in the weeds, you can see the actual site impressions for each of your communities. You can kind of see which ones people are most interested in. And you mentioned too, Matt, the ability to add videos, 3D tours, pricing information, all that knowledge is really useful to a family. But what's cool is that some of the TSL partners have built teams around TSL as a platform. So they're not hand holding every single lead. They're actually kind of like building people to help with different parts of the process. This person's going out and reaching SNFs and hospitals. This person's helping families that come in and doing more like lead management, lead nurturing. So you can really kind of it gives you something to build off of.
Yeah, definitely. And then Drew, the accountability and measurable results. I mean, that if you're not a senior placement agent out there, if you're not looking at results and looking at things that are measurable, things you can go back to your system and say, this is working, this is not working, this is not that efficient, there's some deficiencies obviously in the system, how can I improve upon it? Man, you're just, again, you're winging it, you're hoping a prayer, throwing stuff on the wall, hopefully it sticks. But so without clear systems, I mean, agents can't measure what's working, right? Or worse, communities don't see their value. And I put communities don't see your value because you realize today there's some communities out there that do not want to work with senior placement agents. We hear that quite a bit. I hear that some. However, I would take it to a little bit further down the road than that. I would say at the core of all senior living communities do not want to work at all with senior placement agents. Now, why do they do it? Obviously, to get leads, to get move-ins, so they can increase their census. But the reason that none of them want to really, truly at the core want to work with senior placement agents, they don't want to spend that money, man. Let's say you're making 100%, and the move-in is $7,500. That means they have to pay you $7,500 in 30 days. They don't want to do that. They're not making any money for the first 3.5 months. They don't want to do that. In the perfect world, the senior living communities would go, hey, marketing directors, go get the leads. Marketing directors, we're paying you to go get it. Matter of fact, the community I used to work with, Drew, we had 4 marketing directors, and I was the outside sales person, right? So I was looked upon as like the senior placement agent. I mean, go get the leads. The problem with that is, I think you mentioned this earlier, Drew, I will go to these skilled nursing facilities and hospitals and other different medical places and referral sources. And I was always tooting the horn of that one particular community. Like, we were the best. No one's like us. Okay, what makes you different? Our building's new. What makes you different? Our price point's great. What makes you different? Our care is phenomenal. And we're always trying to kind of build up the community. And the social worker and all those people are kind of like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, they'll probably treat us maybe like one of others that come in that building. So they, at the core, they really don't want to work with senior placement agents. Now they do. The good news is you're in this business. A lot of them do. Most of them do, because they realize the value you're going to bring when you bring that $7,500 client to them, right? I mean, what's 7,500, 15? That's 15,000 times 6 is what, Drew? You're better at math than I am. I'm good at math. I think you're even better. 15,000 times
Is it
6 is what?
90?
$90,000. So it's a
Yeah.
$90,000 client that you're bringing in to them,
Yeah.
right? 7,500 over the course of 12 months. And then obviously you get the first month, or you might get 75% of that. You might get 100%, whatever you may get. But they really don't want to work with you as much. But they do.
They have to,
Yeah.
because like you said, like the hospital, there's two issues. The hospital can't take the liability, or the SNF rather, can't take the liability of recommending a single community to one of their patients. Because if something goes wrong,
Yes.
then it's back on the hospital, right? And then from the family's experience, they don't want to look at a single, when you're shopping for a home, you don't want to go to a web page that has one home on it.
Right.
You want to see them all, and you want to compare, and you want to filter based on budget, and et cetera. So there's this like a collective action problem that you as the placement agent are solving for the whole marketplace. And TSL just kind of bundles that up into a easy package that you can find online.
Absolutely. So guys, if you don't know more about TSL, more about what we're doing, again, there's a number of different links down below. You can actually watch the live webinar. It's most recent. We've done a webinar months ago. We just did this webinar, what, Drew, a few weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so yeah, watch that one. Schedule a call with myself. I don't form this out to the team, and they take the calls. I do it. I actually got asked about this not long ago, Drew. Someone said, I can't believe you're answering the phone. I can't believe you're taking the calls. I was like, I enjoy talking to you. We're not trying to sell you anything. I mean,
That's
do
right.
we have anything to offer? Yeah, we got plenty of offers, but we're not trying to sell you. Are you a right fit in this business? Is this something you truly want to do? Do you want to get aligned with a company that has helped hundreds of people out there to be successful in this business? Do you want to get aligned with TSL that is the only proprietary software that can actually do this? Or do you just want to go spend $10,000 for 10 courses or $10,000 for 10 modules of a course? I mean, I'd rather get into a system. And that's the whole point, Drew, today, is that I want to encourage senior placement agents, whether franchisees or independent agents, build a system, get a system in place. And if you truly want a system, you better get with TSL, because right now we're in 27, 28, 29 markets. I keep forgetting. I don't know. Just go on to tourseniorliving.org. Look at the map yourself. You can count all the green dots and you can see where they're located. Your area may be taken. And if it is, I'm sorry. We've been trying to tell you this forever. And I know people are like, man, I'll just wait. I'll wait after Christmas. I'll wait until next year. It might be too late. We're only having one senior placement agent per territory. That is it. It's a terrible business model for us financially. We should be blanketing the whole country with all this, but our commitment is to you guys as partners. We don't want to create any unnecessary competition for you in your own area. We want you to have a system so your business thrives. Right, Drew?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want one local expert that really understands the industry and that is there to help families, all the families in that area.
Good deal. Well, guys, hopefully this was helpful for you today. We're so glad you joined with us today. And again, it's 9/11. So, you see somebody that just maybe reminds you of someone that maybe first responders would be a great person to recognize today. I mean, I think about 9/11, all these first responders just going for it, and people in general that were not necessarily, paramedics or firemen or police. They just were people that are willing bodies, willing people to do a good deed for their community. So anyway, we love you. We appreciate you. Until next time, God bless.
God bless.